Welcome back to Sunrise, and thanks for staying with us this morning as we continue. For some, getting into property development can be a tedious task. Now, thankfully, a multi-million rand hotel development has now made it possible for normal South Africans to have a piece of the pie and bring about some transformation in this industry. Joining us for a conversation this morning is Ocean's Umhlanga Hotel Project Manager Brian Mpono. Remember, you can be part of our conversation by giving us a call on 011-447-1742 or 447-1620. And we're also taking your comments on our Facebook as well as our Twitter pages. Brian, good morning and thanks for joining us. Let's talk about, firstly, before we get into this public share offering and what's going on with this Ocean's Umhlanga. The property development industry is probably one of the least transformed industries in the country. Why is that so?
You know, Penny, for the longest time, I'll go back to the history of black people and their spending behavior. During the apartheid regime, you know, black people were excluded from your economics, your financial intelligence classes, from business and enterprise classes. So inherently, black people don't have an investment culture in them, let alone coming to property development. I mean, even things like forex trading and stock markets are still something new. But we have this tendency as black people to want to invest our money in microwave projects where I put in 20,000 today and, you know, I'm promised ridiculous returns like 30% per month. There is no platform that allows you such unless it is a very risk-averse platform, which is the stock markets. But even then, you know, it's so sad that black people are taken for a ride in such things. You know, they get told, put in your money, you'll get 50,000 rand in 3 months, and there's just a blanket, a grey blanket when it comes to property when it comes to investment. When you get to property, it's seen as something of, you know, of the more affluent, the more learned.
Well, when I think of it, I think I have to have already, you know, money invested somewhere, and I'm just looking for options of like how to, you know, let my money grow over time. Okay, but now that also can be sort of like, it clouds your mind, it becomes a barrier of entry. But also it feels like, you know, just to get in, you need a lot of money. I would part of like keeping black people out?
Is it part of keeping black people out? Well, there is no yes or no answer to that. But what I can say is that we are so prone to liquid investments as black people because I want to put my money in now, and in 2 years' time, I want my 100,000 or 200,000 to build Uforumekai. But when it comes to the long-term investments where you're in it for the long haul, there's lock-in periods where you need to get in now and just ride it out. You know, we're not prone to that. And it's true, it's a true reflection when you look at things like credit. You know, there are more black people that are in debt than white people.
Okay, so we obviously want to change that, but today we're talking about property development. I want to get in. What are the things that I need to do and need to understand so I can be able to access those opportunities or unlock those opportunities that exist within the property development sector?
Well, there are instruments like unit trusts where you, for as little as 1,000 rand or 500 rand, you know, it is said that of your salary or of your income per month, at least save 10%. Whether you put it in a money market account or whether you do a fixed deposit or 32 days, it depends. It's up to you. But there's this inherent culture that, but I want my money to grow instantly in 6 months. Okay, it doesn't happen like that.
Right, so let's try and change that mindset. You guys are dealing with a public share offering that you're saying it's going to make an impact on transformation of the property industry, which is 95%. These are your
untransformed.
Untransformed.
Yes.
You know, how are you going to change those numbers?
You know, when you talk radical economic transformation, It is an ingenious development by Vivian Reddy and Rob Alexander, where he's actually decided to forego his future wealth of between 2 and 5 billion over the next 10 years, and has opened up the opportunity for the ordinary South African to buy shares into the first Radisson Blue Hotel in KZN, which, mind you, is the 4th largest hotel group in the world, for as little as 1,000 rand, which gives you 50 shares into the hotel development through this capital raising process, which ends on the 22nd of March, whereby you subscribe for shares online on oceanshotelinvest.co.za. You can become a shareholder, and the guarantee of allotment of shares closes on the 15th. The entire offer closes on the 22nd. But you're looking at 10% dividend per annum, which you can see it getting in the 3rd year of the operation of the hotel, and after a 10-year period, due to the increase in the asset valuation, your investment will grow 350%. So say, for example, you invest 20,000 rand. After 10 years, your 20,000 rand would have built you 20,000 rand because of the 2,000 rand dividend per annum you'll be getting. So after 10 years, that's 40,000. Now times that by 350% in the increase in asset valuation, that's 140,000 rand. Now that is very conservative.
Yeah, okay, so this is exactly the thing why we are not involved in property, because you just went and had a conversation with your friends at business school.
Not so.
So let's simplify it.
So let's simplify it.
Yeah.
So with your 1,000 rand or your 5,000 rand, when you buy a share means you are a shareholder of a development.
Okay.
Ordinarily in property, there has never been such an investment model where it includes the ordinary South African. Now, that is purely because of illiteracy of the ordinary South African, where they look at this monstrosity of a project and go, wow, you know, but that is not the case. When you talk about radical economic transformation, the word radical should tell you that we are doing this you know what I'm going to say, whether people like it or not. Why? For the longest time, the ordinary South African ends up mixing cement, serving tea, but never gets a chance to be an owner.
How different is this to all these other public offering shares that we've kind of heard of, which were they needed, let's say, a black component to support that share scheme. All the fancy words that are used.
Here, there's no black component to support the scheme. It is an investment model that seeks to transform the property industry and give the opportunity to the ordinary South African to be part of something big. It's set to change the mindset of the South African, where they think, that's too big. For as little as 1,000 rands.
Okay.
That's 50 shares into a development which costs 700 million. The minimum amount you need to invest is 1,000 rand. That's the minimum. And our operators are available from Monday to Saturday from 9 to 6 in the evening on 031 521 0431.
I hope everybody's got a pen out, so maybe just repeat that again.
031 521 0431. Now, for the sake of transparency, when you call in, you can either press 1 for the operator, who will take you through the whole process, or if you want a more learned advice, when you press 2 for the project director, you come straight through to me. We are leaving no stone unturned. We want no doubts. We are laying all fears, because for the longest time, black people have been taken for a ride when it comes to raising capital for these hocus pocus developments, which are questions we have answered, and people are starting to, take part.